Hi everyone and welcome to the NCAA Regionals edition of NCHC Between the Boards. I'm Greg Ankers. Well, the league made history, sending 6 of their 8 conference teams into the field of 16 at the NCAA tournament as it got underway last weekend. That means we have plenty of highlights to get to in the next 30 minutes, so let's dive right in. We'll start in the West Regional, hosted by UND in Fargo, North Dakota, their home state, and UND entered in rare territory, coming off of 2 straight losses at the Frozen Face-Off in Minneapolis a week ago. They would look to bounce back against a Quinnipiac squad that has had success in the NCAA tournament in the past, and UND would hope to be fueled by a home crowd, playing just 75 miles south of their campus. And North Dakota would come out looking like a completely different team in this one, jumping out in the first. Paul Ledoux sliding one to Tucker Poolman, who blasts one from the point, and North Dakota grabs the 1-0 lead. In the second, UND looking to extend the lead. Gage Osmus going to feed Bryn Chizik below the red line, who somehow slides this one underneath the Bobcat goaltender for a 2-0 North Dakota lead. Moments after that, skating shorthanded, Troy Stetcher into the zone, across to Drake Kajula for the one-timer is good, and North Dakota with a commanding 3-0 lead. In the third, Quinnipiac trying to get back into it on the power play. Andrew Taverner gets this one by Zane McIntyre to cut it to 3-1, but in the closing seconds, a race to the puck is on, and UND's Luke Johnson is going to win the race and put it in the empty net. North Dakota grabs the opening West Regional victory with a 4-1 win. Here's Bryn Chizik following the win.
That's just a hard-fought playoff hockey game that I thought there was a lot of battles in all areas of the ice, and I think we won the majority of them tonight, which is I think why we came out on top. I give them a lot of credit. They came hard, they came fast, they finished a lot of checks. It was a tough game, and I thought our guys responded well and had a really good game.
In the other West Regional semifinal, the Battle of the Huskies, St. Cloud State out of the NCHC taking on Michigan Tech in the first. Scary moment for St. Cloud State. Johnny Brodzinski goes down awkwardly, injuring his leg. But good news, he would return later on and make a difference. But later in the first, Michigan Tech taking advantage of the shorthanded St. Cloud State team. Tanner Carroll with the goal here to put Tech out in front 1-0. In the second, though, back comes St. Cloud State. On the power play, Callie Kosala. The one-timer from the circle is good, and that ties things up at a goal apiece. Tech would lead it 2-1 late, closing seconds. Battle behind the net. Michigan Tech goaltender out of position, and look who it is. Johnny Brodzinski with the game-tying goal with 37 seconds left. This one goes to overtime. In OT, the Tech defender falls down. Joe Raycamp, Johnny on the spot, and sends it to Judd Peterson, whose second effort sends St. Cloud State on with the 3-2 win. After the game, Bob Motzko previews who he might be playing in the championship.
We don't need a scouting report on North Dakota, so we all know what they can do, and so we're either gonna have a road game tomorrow or a neutral site game tomorrow.
And unfortunately for Bob Motzko, his bunch would be playing a quote-unquote road game with a bid to go to their second Frozen Four appearance as they would face North Dakota in the West Regional Championship. North Dakota looking to get back to the Frozen Four in back-to-back seasons and reach the Frozen Four for the 7th time in head coach Dave Hakstol's 11-year tenure at the university. It sets up an all NCHC showdown with the right to go to Boston in the Frozen Four. In this one, St. Cloud State jumps out first off the face-off. Puck finds Jimmy Murray, who finds the back of the net. 1-0 St. Cloud. Later in the first, though, North Dakota defenseman Andrew Panzarella making a spot start for the ill Keaton Thompson. Blasts one from just inside the blue line, and that ties things up at 1 goal apiece. In the second, North Dakota looking to add to the lead. Drake Kajula brings it into the zone, gets hit as he shoots, and that one is good for a 2-0 UND lead. And then in the third, a couple minutes in, Luke Johnson going to rattle one off the top of the cage. It falls behind Charlie Lindgren and into the net as UND takes a 3-1 advantage. And later in the period, Colton St. Clair going to ice it with the empty net goal here. North Dakota with the 4-1 win goes back to the Frozen Four for the second straight year, and it is the 7th time in Dave Hakstol's 11 years that they will be making the trip to the Frozen Four. North Dakota looking for their 8th championship as they head to Boston.
It was good. I mean, Guys showed a lot of heart. We knew, we didn't quite get off the start we wanted, but after that 5 minutes, I think we kind of took over, started playing our game, and the end result, we're going to Boston, so couldn't be happier.
We were very poised back there. We made a lot of plays, blocked a lot of shots, took a lot of hits, and guys never panicked. Even if there was a lot of pressure on us, we kept them to the outside, and we did a great job. And if there was a small breakdown, Zayno was there to back us up like he always has been.
It's obviously momentum swings like that make a big difference, and I think our team did a good job of handling the momentum that they're throwing at us, but also initiating the play and creating the momentum.
With one ticket from the NCHC punched for the Frozen Four, could more teams follow? Coming up next, we'll hit up the Midwest Regional in South Bend, Indiana, where Omaha was looking for its bid to go to the Frozen Four. That's next on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. With North Dakota punching its ticket to Boston, more teams from the NCHC look to punch their ticket to the Frozen Four as well, including the Omaha Mavericks, who entered their third NCAA tournament, still looking for their first NCAA tournament win in program history. The Mavericks open against Harvard in the Midwest Regional in South Bend, Indiana. Omaha and Ryan Massa thirsty for that first ever NCAA tournament win, taking on Harvard less than 2 minutes into the first. Omaha with a championship mentality, crashing the net. Grant Gallo eventually punches it in as we take another look. Avery Peterson with the initial shot and Gallo with the follow-up, and it's 1-0 Omaha. Late in the first then, Omaha working a two-man advantage, and Avery Peterson going to make sure that the Mavs cash in before the buzzer sounds with just less than 2 seconds remaining. Omaha takes it into the locker room up 2-0. It was still 2-0 in the third. Harvard, though, coming back. Jimmy Vesey with the goal here to cut the deficit nap at 2-1. But in the closing seconds, Omaha gets an empty net goal from Tyler Vessel, and that makes it 3-1. That would put the icing on the cake as the Mavs tack on one more for a 4-1 win, and they are getting their first NCAA tournament win with the victory over Harvard.
We came here to win that first game to get us to an opportunity to compete in the Frozen Four in Boston, but we still have a full 60 minutes tomorrow night against a good hockey club that beat the #1 overall seed. So for us, it's pretty short enjoyment. It's nice reaching a milestone as an organization, but our work's far from over.
So that sets up Omaha coming off of their first NCAA tournament win with a chance to get to the Frozen Four, but to do so, they would have to face off against upstart RIT, who made a Frozen Four appearance in their only other NCAA tournament bid back in 2010. Omaha, fresh off their first ever NCAA tournament win, now looking to punch their ticket to their first ever Frozen Four. They would be led in this one by senior goaltender Ryan Massa, who was fantastic, stopping 40 shots that the Tigers would blast his way, giving his team the opportunity to win this one. It was scoreless into the third. A minute into that period, though, the great one-timer by Jake Randolph puts Omaha out in front 1-0. Later in the period then, Jake Gensel finds Austin Ortega alone, and that one makes it 2-0 Mavericks. Then late in the period, Justin Parizek gets behind the Tigers' defense. He's going in one-on-one and goes top shelf. Omaha goes up 3-0. David Pope then with the exclamation point empty net goal here as Omaha goes on to win it 4-0. Dean Blaze and company are off to the Frozen Four in Boston following their first ever NCAA tournament win.
We've waited 4 long years with a lot of postseason collapse, if you will. Every year, we put ourselves in a good position, and then, when the pressure comes, when those must-win games come, we always found a way to end our season early. And this year, we may not have, 10 seniors on this team, but the 5 of us have really, I think, taken a pretty large step in instilling these young guys, what potential is there.
I can't say enough good things about these guys. I mean, they took us in day one, all the freshmen and everything. So, and I mean, it started with them between the second and third. All the words they said and told us to stay positive and kept us up in the locker room. It started with that, and Ryan's been unbelievable for us. It's we have something special here, and we want to keep it going.
we're just halfway through the highlights from the regionals. Coming up next, we'll check in the East with Miami and Denver, and we'll head to the Northeast where Minnesota Duluth is looking to go back to the Frozen Four. And later, we'll check in on the University of North Dakota and a behind-the-scenes look at what their practices are like. That's straight ahead on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. With 6 teams making the NCAA tournament, 2 of those have already punched their tickets to the Frozen Four. As we shift our attention out east to Providence, Rhode Island, where Miami looked to get to the Frozen Four without 2 of its star players. Blake Coleman, who was suspended following his 3rd major of the season at the Frozen Faceoff, and Riley Barber out with injury. The Redhawks would have a tall task taking on a 4th seed Providence team that was playing in its own backyard. And this one would prove to be the most entertaining game of the tournament thus far. Tied at 1 in the first, Miami gains the lead. Off the end wall, Anthony Lewis bouncing one over John Gillies and into the back of the net. Miami takes a 2-1 lead. It was 2-2 after one, but in the second, Providence explodes for 4 goals in the period, capped off by Shane Luke, as the Friars take a 6-2 lead heading into the third. With 12 minutes to go, Rico Blase pulls his goaltender. Miami with the extra attacker, Matthew Cato blasts one through, and it's a 6-3 game. Couple minutes after that, still with the extra attacker on, Devin Lowe going to tip this one in off of Sean Corrali's stick, and it's a 6-4 game. Move ahead a couple more minutes. Again, still the empty net, and Miami on the attack, and Sean Corrali going to bang this one in, and that makes it a 6-5 game. Under a minute to go. Providence looking to put this one away. Puck bounces free, heading towards the net. Louis Belpedio with the great individual effort to save the day with less than a minute to go to keep the dream alive. But with 7 seconds to go, Providence gets the empty netter, ending Miami's season.
Like I said, I'm just so proud of everybody. You know, anybody could have just folded, and you know, we fought for our lives till the end, and you know, I'm just so grateful to be here with this program, and you know, with Miami University. It's been a special 4 years for me.
The other region semifinal pitted NCHC's Denver against Hockey East's Boston College. Denver would jump out in this one in the first on a power play. Joey LaLeggia fires that one home for a 1-0 Pioneers lead. It'd be tied at 1 later in the first when Ty Loney slides one across for Trevor Moore, who's wide open on the backside, and that puts Denver out in front 2-1 after 1. That lead would hold into the third. Denver looking to add to it. Daniel DeRemus for Will Butcher. Will Butcher blasting one from the circle, and that makes it a 3-1 Denver lead. Less than a minute after that, Grant Arnold comes calling. Who? Yes, Grant Arnold with his first goal of the year, 1-on-1 with the goalie. He buries it, putting Denver out in front 4-1. It was 4-2 late in the third when Arnold comes calling again. No goals coming into this game. Now he's got 2 as Denver goes on to win it 5-2 the final to advance to the East Region Final. With the win over Boston College, Denver keeps the NCHC hopes alive to have a 3rd team in the Frozen Four field as they face off against Providence in the Region Championship. Denver looking to get back to the Frozen Four for the first time since they won back-to-back national titles in 2004 and 2005. So it's been 10 years since Denver's last Frozen Four. It's been 30 for Providence in this one, and the Friars would come out in the second. On the power play, Noel Achari down low, sliding that one past Tanner Gillette, and it's 1-0 Providence after 2 in the third. Denver gets the equalizer. On the power play, Joey LaLeggia. Somehow this one trickles in off of his initial shot, and that ties things up at a goal apiece. But later in the period, Providence back on a power play. Tom Parisi with great patience in the slot beats Gillette for a 2-1 Providence lead, and then later, Brandon Tanev going to add an empty netter for Providence. They tack on one more as Providence goes on to win 4-1 as they celebrate going to the Frozen Four for the first time since 1985 as Denver's season comes to a close. But Providence lives on as they will head to Boston for the Frozen Four. And finally, we shift gears to the Northeast Regional in Manchester, New Hampshire, where Minnesota Duluth sat facing a Minnesota squad that they've already faced 4 times this season, despite, of course, not playing in the same league. Minnesota Duluth had the Gophers' number in 3 of the 4 previous meetings, and their meeting in Manchester, New Hampshire marked the 5th different venue the squads would play each other in this year. So the question coming in, could Duluth continue its stranglehold on rival Minnesota? That question would quickly be answered. In the first, Duluth on the attack. Willie Raskob finding Tony Cameronese for the goal, and it's 1-0 Duluth. 2 minutes after that, more attack from the Bulldogs. Justin Crandall gets credit for this goal as Duluth takes a 2-0 lead, but they were not done in the period. Raskob skating in, the great second effort, goes off of the Minnesota defenseman, and it's 3-0 Duluth after the first. In the second, they take all of the air out of the Gophers' sails when Carson Soucy puts in this power play goal. Duluth marching on to the Northeast Regional Final with a 4-1 win over rival Minnesota.
For us, playing the Gophers is one of those games that no matter where you are, you're going to get up for it. Got a lot of history with them personally too. You know a lot of people a lot of the guys on the team, and I think drawing this team when we saw it in the selection, so we all got excited because we knew that we can beat this team. We did it 3 times already this year, and tonight we showed it again.
We played a pretty good game. I mean, it's really important against any team, but certainly our success against Minnesota, the 4 wins, we scored the first goal, and I think we built off that tonight.
So, could Duluth be the 3rd NCHC team to punch its ticket to the Frozen Four? In order to do so, they'd have to get past Boston University. In the first, Bulldogs can't get it out of their own zone, and Evan Rodriguez with the golf shot out in front puts BU out in front 1-0. In the second, though, Duluth answers back just 37 seconds into the period. Willie Raskob with a blast and the goaltender out of position. That one ties things up at a goal apiece. But just a couple minutes after that, BU answers back at the other end. Great feed to Matt Lane, falling down out in front, puts the Terriers back out in front 2-1. But before the teams skate back into the locker room, Duluth answers back. Kyle Osterberg with the goal here to tie things up at 2 apiece. That tie would hold until late into the third period when BU's Evan Rodriguez comes calling again. The sweet toe drag there in the circle puts Boston out in front, and that would be your eventual game winner as Boston wins it 3-2. So they advance to their 22nd Frozen Four, and the Bulldogs come up just short.
A lot of back and forth and zone time for both teams in certain situations, but what can you say? They made a play at the end, right at the end of the power play, and won a hockey game, and they're moving on, and we're not.
With the Frozen Four set with 2 NCHC teams, we'll check in with one as North Dakota gets ready to go to Boston. We'll hear what it sounds like at a UND practice. That's next. You're watching NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. Have you ever wondered what it sounds like to be at a college hockey practice? We were curious ourselves, and UND's head coach Dave Hakstol was kind enough to let us mic him up and hear some of the sights and sounds from a practice at the University of North Dakota.
Be talking a little more here, eh, boys? Come on, be talking a little more. Yelling for pucks, little things here. Let's go. Gotta get your lining talking, eh? Yeah. He's not calling for any pucks. He's just quiet as a mouse. Get him talking, get him yelling. Pogo. Get it and pound it, get it and pound it, get it and pound it. Attaboy. Good. We're going clearing with pressure. We're going to keep moving here. We're going 1, then 2, then 3. We'll go 5-on-0 cycle to finish it. So you got to get up ice. All 5 guys get up ice. Next 3 get out to the neutral zone. Starting with 1 forechecker. Let's be clean on this. Like that, I like that. You're a shooter, Odie. You're a shooter. 13's the passer. Okay, we're going to work a drill, all right? Coming out, it's going to be 5 versus 3. So we've got a forechecker from center ice, forechecking a group of 5. We're attacking down ice, 5 versus 3. We've got to take care of the puck. We've got to attack the net. We've got to drive middle lane. Let her go, boys. Like, don't be conservative here. It's practice. Work at it. Let's get lots of movement, lots of motion going offensively, all right?
All in zone here, boys, all in zone.
You're getting after it, Drake. You're forechecking, back checking, going hard. Let's go. Who do you got, Green? Who do you got? Who do you got? Good. It's a good back check. Good job. We're coming out of this end. Coming out of this end this time. Hard to see the right play. Would have been put it right in my chicklets right there. Appreciate you not doing that.
I did that.
Yeah, here we go. That's it for the day, boys. Good work, Dave. Good job.
When we come back, we'll preview the Frozen Four as the field is set and half the teams going to Boston are from the NCHC. That's next on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. As you've seen, half the field in the Frozen Four is represented by NCHC teams. Omaha and North Dakota will represent the league at the TD Garden next week, April 9th on Thursday. Omaha will open the tournament against Providence at 3 o'clock Central. North Dakota and Boston U have the nightcap at 7:30 Central. We will recap those games on Friday, April 17th, right here on Midco Sports Network, and we'll recap the season as well from the NCHC. Until then, good luck to the teams representing at the Frozen Four, and we will see you next time on NCHC Between the Boards. Thanks so much for watching.